guys, it's Reilly. Welcome back to Really Reilly, the podcast. Anyways, if you're new here, we'll be talking about the bad experiences we've had, family drama, relationships, college and career, some special guests, and maybe a few surprises. In this episode, a really good friend of mine from college will be joining us today. We will be talking about everything from life, some of our darkest moments, boys, friendships, adulting, and how we've managed to pull everything together thus far in our early to mid-20s. Alrighty, let's get into it. Welcome, Callie, to Really Reilly.
Thanks for having me.
So, two stubborn girls became friends, and now we're here recording an episode together. How does that make you feel?
Considering we talked about this in our dorm room, it's pretty exciting, but also very nerve-wracking because I'm so used to being behind the scenes of all this. So, I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie.
Well, welcome. Nothing to be nervous about. Just telling our truths, right? Do you want to share your story? Kind of like how we met. I guess, should we start off from college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freshman year?
Mitchell. Oh my gosh.
Mitchell
okay.
College.
All right. Well, yeah, we were freshmen.
Yeah.
New to campus life, dorm life.
Came in, not really knowing anyone.
Had no friends.
Anything.
Literally felt like a loser. I mean, at least I got to pick my roommate. That was kind of cool.
I picked my roommate too. Didn't end very well, but
I had a good run with mine, but yeah, I
mean everything kind of fell apart for us. Huh?
Yeah. So I guess my story is that now with everything going on in the world, I think this is a very appropriate time to touch base on this. So yes, we have our rights that have just been taken away, rather, and unfortunately, my first year of college, I was assaulted, and I wasn't really expecting that. I don't think anyone honestly expects to go through
definitely not
an assault.
I was assaulted my freshman year as well.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that's how we really pulled, well, I wouldn't say that, but I mean,
that's where you and I connected.
Yeah, that was a really good connection under horrible circumstances.
Yeah.
So my story, I was supposed to go home with my roommate for Halloween weekend. I ended up not going, not really too sure on the reason why, but I know that I had a couple of parties to go to anyways, and I think this was before you and I had connected. Yeah, so I was like, no, like, it's fine, like, I'm just gonna go and hang out with some good friends and I'll be safe. So that's all that was. She ended up going home with her parents and I stayed behind. Yeah, there was a party in a dorm, drank a lot of alcohol, and then pretty much I thought I had really good friends to walk me back safely to my dorm, but apparently I had a stalker from the time I arrived on campus freshman year. And summing it up from there, I was placed into my bedroom and I thought my friends had locked the door and they did not. So you can guess what happens from there. Next morning, I wake up traumatized and I obviously, like, my whole body is in complete shock. I feel like something is definitely not right. Something is completely off. And I'm like, well, like, I drank. Like, I'm going to get in so much trouble from my RAs and it's just going to be a show. So with that said, I ended up somehow getting the courage to clean up all of my vomit and then going to my RA, who thankfully lived next door to me, so I didn't have to go too far. And then I kind of just broke down into tears and was like, I believe that I was raped and I don't know what to do about it. And so with that said, she was really supportive and she ended up taking me to the hospital. I ended up getting a rape kit done. I ended up pretty much being vulnerable with every doctor about my assault and every detail that it entailed. And then fast forward to after my hospitalization, coming back to the dorm, realizing I just couldn't fathom anything that had happened. And I had to be put through some serious therapy, which was it was not the right therapy. I'm now in really great therapy. So shout out to my therapist, Kim. Thank you. I love you so much.
Yeah. And I honestly have to give you a lot of props. Like, you were very courageous with that whole situation because I went through the same thing and I never reported it. Like, he left the school because he was afraid of what I could have done to him.
Yeah.
But I watched you go through the whole process of the court And I knew that I could never go through that, not at the time in my life that I was in at that moment. I could have never done what you did.
I mean, I think Taylor really encouraged me. She was my RA, to report it along with Amy, because I was nervous myself. I was like, and he's done this to other girls. So I was like, what's going to happen? Like, for me, like, is my safety at risk? Like, I didn't even know. So there was that factor as well.
And that's kind of all I knew too, because at the time I had a very toxic boyfriend.
Oh, we love him.
Yes.
Applause.
So, yeah, like I came to school already not really knowing who I was, knowing, you know, what was healthy.
Right.
That's all I knew.
Yeah. Gosh, after that, it was like I ended up moving out of that dorm room. I could no longer be roommates with my best friend. Shout out to you, Kyla. I could no longer be roommates with her anymore. Because the room physically, I could not be in there. Like, it was too traumatizing. It had too many memories, bad memories that you could, yeah. So I moved across the hall and I got a single. So it was cool. And thankfully my roommate and I were still close. So that was nice. We always hung out. But yeah, I mean, I had to go through all of the police reports and everything, and that was tough. And I mean, I think the hardest decision, or, well, no, I shouldn't say that. The hardest part of it all was telling my parents. How the do you tell your parents you've been raped? How?
Mine kind of just spilled out. It was a random evening. I was home and I don't know, they could just tell that something was not right with me. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just came out and it was silent. They really didn't know how to react.
Like, my baby girl was assaulted. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, my reaction from my parents was, my dad is like, I'm going to like kill this.
Believe me, my dad was the same way.
And then my mom was like, well, this is heartbreaking, but I don't know how to emotionally support her. So I can just do my best. And now she completely like is, I guess you could say, she's better at emotionally supporting me. No offense, Mom. Love you still. But at the time, it was just a crazy show. So, but then, yeah, my dad did the most. He drove up on campus and held my hand through the entire process. And I had you and my other friends to support me. And that was really good. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on how we met.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But fortunately, yeah.
But
yeah,
so it must be a good friendship.
Yeah. So now, moving past that, oh gosh, then we took a wrap on freshman year and we started our sophomore year, which was my end year for college at Mitchell.
Yeah, she left me.
Yeah, I left. But before that, I then got into a relationship.
And I got out of my relationship.
You got out of your relationship, but I think, remember, I got into my relationship or over winter break in freshman year. So then I had, like, we were dating from freshman year to, like, into sophomore year. Yeah. So, yeah, I was dating this guy. And, like, I told him, like, when I was in Barbados, I was like, yeah, like, this is just a fling. Like, it's not going to be anything serious because, like, I'm going back to college and, yeah, like, you know, cut. Like, we're not doing this.
Girl, you were invested.
I was invested eventually. I think I got attached after, like, April. Because, like, February, March, like, you remember, like, all the McDonald's runs. And I was like, oh, like, he's texting me. And, like, this is so annoying. And he wants to, like, video call me all the time. And I was like, this is, like, weird. Like, we're together, but I'm in college and I'm trying to live my best life.
He didn't like when I was there.
Ever. I think he just hated you. Like,
why though?
I don't know.
I never did anything to him.
I know. Like, you never even met the guy. Like, so weird. Anyways, but yeah, that's situation.
How we know that it's toxic.
Well, we didn't know that at the time.
I did.
I didn't. But that's okay. I've now found my self-worth. Thank you, from my recent ex. Gotta love that. But we'll get into that as well. So yeah, I mean, that was crazy. And then fast forward to the end of sophomore year, because that was like a pretty crazy year as well. But That wasn't like anything too terrible, would you say? Besides like your breakup with...
Well, yeah. So I broke up with him pretty early on in our good friend Jess's room. Thank God you guys were there because I was a wreck.
Yeah.
I was mostly scared that he would come and like do something.
Literally.
That was my fear.
Like,
I wasn't scared about like breaking up with him. I was scared about my safety.
Yeah, which as you should be, because he was like a lunatic. Like, I don't even know any other words.
You're right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then later he ended up moving near the school.
Even worse, like...
Which
crazy to think that we have like now...
But that was like junior year.
Yeah, so. True. But he's still crazy, so, you know.
Well, then I started finding other boys.
Oh, yes. Let's put that factor in.
You know, just the casual hookups that...
Casual hookup culture, where you think it's going to go somewhere. And it's not.
It's not. But then later on, he's like, oh, yeah, I had feelings for you the whole time.
Yeah.
What?
Like, what are you even talking about? Crazy.
That makes zero sense.
He just makes zero sense in general. But, and then to fast forward to me getting dumped before my brother's graduation for high school. Yeah, shout out to you, buddy. Made that day a whole wreck for me. That was crazy. And I just didn't know how to feel. Like, I just remember crying on the bathroom floor and like not wanting to live. And I was like, I just don't understand how someone can cheat on me in the parking lot of a Harbor Lights. I'll never forget, but I've definitely forgiven you. So next scenario, I just got out of a very, very, very toxic situationship. Because it wasn't a relationship. So I don't technically know if I can call him an ex. But I'm going to anyways.
You definitely caught feelings. I don't know about him.
I think he definitely had some sort of feelings for me, but...
Yeah, there was something.
There was something there.
He wasn't mature enough to be in a relationship with you.
I agree, because it was also
even though
like...
he's like 10 times our age.
He's twice my age.
Twice your age.
Which...
Damn.
That's... Yeah, we'll just leave that there. He's twice my age.
And you were...
For the record, he does not like look like twice my age, but...
No, he doesn't.
At all. So I will give him that. He's definitely good looking. I look at myself now and I look at myself back then. And it's like I'm still the same person. I've just grown from that. Right. And it's like I remember crying all the time and being like, oh, like, why is this happening to me? Like, I don't understand. But it was like God, I guess, the universe teaching me in a way that this has to happen for you to progress forward. And by the way, like, can we just put this out here? Why the would you take me out to a restaurant to like dump me, basically?
That's pretty ridiculous. Like,
we went there to have a conversation and then you say that you're seeing somebody else. How beautiful. How beautiful. Isn't that beautiful, Callie? Is that great?
I mean, that's better than having a guy tell you to just never talk to them again.
I mean, he did that too.
Over Snapchat. I
mean, he did that too. He blocked me on WhatsApp after I sent him a funny meme of a project we did years ago. But, you know, I don't think his girlfriend thought it was so funny. Yeah, I don't think... Oh, that's why you deleted it? I don't think his girlfriend thought it was so funny. But anyways, it was funny to me, so ha ha ha. In December, I realized that after he had blocked me, I just had to get my act together. And...
It's really sad that that's what it takes for us to kind of realize... As a woman, that we need to, like
the self-worth bar was set so low. Right. And then it just immediately jumps.
And it takes them to block us for us to be like, wow.
They never give a shit.
No.
Point blank. As as it is, I mean, I think that it takes time. Like, I don't think any woman, any girl rather, any human being is ever fully done healing. I honestly believe that, you know, it takes time. It's a process. You have to find yourself again. You have to know how to love yourself. Activities that make you happy, hobbies that make you happy. For me, it's my career. Like, you know, I always told myself back when I was dating, you know, the guy in college, I was like, I'll never let a man sabotage my career. And I did once. And then this time I was like, yeah, no, never again. So now I'm single and thriving.
Well, with this guy, I kind of realized that, like, you know that butterfly feeling you get?
Is it really the butterfly feeling?
It's not.
it's not.
I've realized that that's anxiety.
Yeah.
That's your body telling you that you need to stay away from this person.
Like red flags, major red flags.
Major red flags.
Yeah. But yeah, I had those all the time. Like, and it was just,
with this guy.
he still made me feel comfortable.
Sophomore year?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I was ever comfortable with him.
Yeah.
Like, I had these feelings for him, but like, I could never be myself.
Right.
I was always on like such a
high with him. Yeah.
That it was just, I wasn't being me.
Right. And now it's like fast forward to now, like after 5 months of my breakup, I realized that moving on is not easy. You may and can do everything to forget someone, but the memories don't leave you. Do you ever feel like that? Like the memories are still there. And it's like,
100%.
I could think about something or smell something and I'll be like, oh, that reminds me of that person.
It's like a trigger.
Yeah, which sucks. But it's like, okay, like, you know, it's like in the song, like we've literally turned from strangers to friends to lovers also, and back to strangers again.
That's part of us. Like everything that we've been through is a part of us.
Yeah.
That makes us who we are.
And grow even more.
And just, grow.
But like you have to go through so many mood swings and sometimes you feel like you've moved on and at the same time it's like you feel the pain in your heart and it's all about yesterday and even after trying so hard you stop missing them. And then it's like you miss them in each and every moment. You hide the truth from your friends that you can still feel the same and then you might hate them for everything bad that they did to you, but you still fail to hate them because your heart knows how much you love them. And then like for me, I feel that person like in songs, still, movies, still, everywhere, like around me, just not as much anymore. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, I'm going home on a trip in a week and it's like, I want to approach, like if I'm approached by him, I would love to say something. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to say anything.
You don't owe him anything.
No,
so you don't need to talk to him.
No, not at all.
You're there for a reason and it's not him.
Nope, it is not. I used to tell myself lies all the time. Like, oh, like I'm not into them and like I'm in love with myself and it's all about me. And this is when I was with him, right? That was all a lie. All a lie. And it hurts so deep.
Why is it that boys are our darkest moments?
They honestly
They have given us our darkest moments.
Yep, for sure. But that's not all.
And friendships.
We have some friends, ex-friends that have been a part of our darkest moments. You want to spill on that?
I can talk about one person in particular. I was friends with this girl for pretty much our entire life up until like a year ago.
Right.
And it's not even like, it made me more mad by the way she did it.
Like how she ended the friendship.
She did it.
Yeah.
Like we were growing apart. Yeah, that's fine. We've been friends since we were like
small.
In middle school.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And the person who I am in middle school is not the person I am right now. Right. We've both changed. So yeah, I know why we were drifting apart, but you don't text somebody at 2 a.m. and just straight up be like, I'm done. I don't want to be your friend.
Like who the is going to read that? I don't know about you, but like I'm dead asleep.
I cried.
Yeah.
For like 2 days.
Yeah, I remember.
It hurt more than a breakup to break up with your friend.
Literally, like...
She was my best friend for so long.
But can we just talk about that? Like literally losing friendships sometimes is like so much more heartbreaking than losing a man. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh. But, I mean, I guess I've gone through quite a few friendships, but I wouldn't say any of them I regret losing because I've definitely leveled up in a way where I know my self-worth and what makes me happy genuinely. So it's like, okay, I don't need to be around that toxic energy anymore.
Right.
Because it's only going to bring me down. And I would say I was quite toxic myself growing up as well. Like it wasn't only on them. It was definitely me and my immaturity back then.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like a whole nother world of me. Like, wow.
Well, that's
okay.
also part of it. Like I kind of realized like toward the end of when it happened, mm-hmm. that she was just she brought me down. She always had something to say that just hurt my self-esteem.
Yeah.
So that was a major red flag for me because I was like, why? Friends aren't supposed to tear you down.
We're supposed to encourage each other.
Right.
If anything. So then like now I'll touch base on this, like ego self and higher self, right? So don't you ever have like, or do you like when, for example, the girl that you're talking about, did you ever feel like this is how she was like mentally? So like you have your ego self, lives in a victim mentality, sacredcy mindset, sees all of the mistakes, but none of the positives, complains about everything. And I do mean everything. Then you have people that you're friends with that are like, you know, they'll have like their ego self, but it will be shallow. Then they have their higher self, which is so up there. It's like takes accountability to create a different reality, especially for their mistakes, abundance mindset, sees all the learning lessons and grateful to find the joy and to find the little moments in everything. And I think it's all about balance, but at the same time, you can't always be complaining.
No.
Like life is not completely like
no,
it is, but it's not completely
friend with that.
Yeah, like it's
no
just
one
so
wants
draining.
To be your friend if you're going to be constantly negative.
Yeah, I feel we need to just use our energy to believe, create, trust, grow, glow, manifest, and heal. And if a friend can't do that with you, then they're not a friend. And that's a wrap on that.
We'll catch you in part 2.
Bye. This episode is produced by Mark Newton, along with Just Saying Productions and music by King Bubba. We'll be back with another great episode soon. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Peace out.